boldip.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Bold Inventor Show. I'm your host, JD Hubener, founder here at Bold Patents Law Firm, also host here. My trusty co-host, Matt, may not be with me today, so I'll try to do my very best on trademarks. This show is for you, the business owner, entrepreneur, inventor, or just, curious individual out there looking for information about intellectual property. Throughout this broadcast, I will welcome any live questions. If you've got any of those, we'll put those to the top of our list. Usually we open up with some Q&A that's coming out throughout the week. If you're watching this and you've missed it, we are there every Wednesday, at 1:30 Pacific, every single week. So catch us on the next one. Look at the live links. What I want you to do is take a look at our disclaimer. While we're having fun, and I am a patent attorney, you, by virtue of watching this, you're not a client, at least not yet. We'd be happy to entertain that idea. So I put this disclaimer here that we're not going to be sharing any confidential information, and we're just sharing legal information and knowledge, having some fun, talking about some hypotheticals, and answering questions. So let's dig into it. I've got a couple questions that came in from our Reddit this week. I want to get to that. And I've also got a special guest, as you probably saw from our title. We've got an IP attorney. Fellow IP attorneys. Will be great to chat, get geeky with patents with our guest in a little bit. In about 10 minutes, we'll have her on with some really cool social media hacks, and we can talk about a lot of really fun topics within there. So let me talk about this first question here, which has to do with patent brokers. All right. Hey, Philip, good to see you too. Thanks for tuning in. All right, this one comes out of, actually, I don't know the area, Reddit, but I have a friend who recently got a patent for a bitless bridle. Oh, I think we did this one last week. Whoops, that's a redo. I think I may have Matt on to save me. Matt, hey man. Oh, he's hold on, he's getting his audio. We're in suspense. Let's go up to Canada for this question. Our good friends up north.
Oh, hold on.
I can hear you a little bit. Anybody have an understanding of how to sell or commercialize a patent? I have a Canadian and a U.S. patent on my invention, which is in the oil drilling sector. It's been 3 years since it was granted, and I haven't done anything with it. Trying to commercialize it and make it a reality. Okay, yeah, I can imagine this is the type of invention where it has to do with like oil drilling. Probably a high cost to make it, right? Engineer it and get this thing built. And so it's likely why you haven't, maybe it's a capital issue, haven't been able to raise enough funds to go bring it about. So in this case, licensing is a very viable option. The best way to go on this is to put together a valuation. And if you've got a third party that can help you do this, there are companies that can value your patent based on a market-based approach, even pre-revenue. So you can go have a discussion, create a sales sheet, if you will, and use a broker. Bold Patents offers a brokering service like this to go out and communicate on your behalf and share the valuation, share a marketability assessment for what your invention covers. There's a second approach, which tends to be a bit more, call it mean. It's a trolling effort where you can look for and spot infringers. So if you stay close, monitor the market in oil drilling, you might be able to find those that are kind of creeping up to or actually nearly infringing your patent, and you can then begin the conversation that way. There are ways to approach that by writing nice enough letters to let them know, hey, you might be getting close to infringing. I'd like to do business with you instead. How about we partner up and bring this to market in the right way? So those are kind of two thoughts from the patent side on how to commercialize in this area. Philip, you're up in Canada. Philip, could you drop your contact information? Looks like you got some connections. You're up in Canada. Maybe you know somebody in drilling. Matt, any comments or thoughts on commercialization there? Things you've seen work with your clients?
Yeah, I mean, going to market's always hard, right? You need like subject matter expertise. So I always tell clients to put together some sort of board of advisors with people who have subject matter expertise in the field that you're trying to get into.
Yes.
And those folks are going to be probably your first investors anyway. So
Yeah.
Kind of double duty for commercialization and capital raising.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, sorry we kind of missed. We jumped the intro. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm good. Good. Sorry, I got a new computer and first time streaming on it, so I had to set some stuff up. So
yeah. Well, I'm glad
yeah,
it's up.
no, I'm good. I'm good. It's cold here, man. It is cold in Minnesota.
Yeah, I bet. Well, it's been warming up a bit. We're getting rain now, not snow. It's kind of melting out a little bit. But yeah, we got 6 inches of snow over the long weekend, President's Day weekend. So we had the kids hanging around for like 4 days in a row.
Yep,
Like,
me too. Me too. I was there. I was there with you, man.
Good.
That's good. How are you doing? Anything new?
Pretty good. Yeah, having a good week. We got our guest waiting backstage, and we decided to have her on. Yeah, I mean, outside work, we signed a contract for a new house. I'm excited for that. For brand new construction, so we're going through that process of, dealing with the builder, working on the land, and kind of new to that. So
that's fun.
Exciting times. Yep.
That's great. Congrats.
Thank you. Well, okay, let's send one your way here on Trademark side.
Sure.
And I realized some of these I didn't tag. There might be repeats. So we'll try to find one that's a little further on the list. Mia pulled up a bunch of questions.
Answer them differently.
Yeah, there you go. All right, here we go. This is a long one. I'm just going to ask the high-level question. Can I trademark a phrase that someone uses as a redirect URL? I'll give some more information here. This is kind of a funky one. It's a long question. Let's see. Here we go. All right. I'm rebranding my photography business, and this time I've decided that the trademarking the name is a must-do to a copycat I had to deal with a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Potential catch: the trademark I'd like to register is also a URL that redirects to a painter's site. Their actual URL and business name is nothing like my business name, so it seems they're just covering their bases for SEO.
Yeah.
Have you seen this before, Matt?
I mean, a lot of times clients will, preemptively buy up a bunch of domains, right? And they might keep them. I mean, I don't know about you, but I have a few domains that I own that I'm not currently using, but I might at some point, right? So people kind of just collect these things. Yeah, that's not a problem to have someone who owns the domain of the trademark that you want to use, so long as, of course, that domain doesn't redirect to a third-party site that competes with your services or products. So assuming you're not a painter, we're good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So photographer with ABC123, they can likely register so long as the existing ABC123 URL doesn't forward to a competing photography business.
Correct. And the more I think about it too, like let's say it was even a competitor who was using like a domain to redirect. Yeah. That domain isn't really functioning as a trademark, right? It's not a source indicator. It's just a URL. So I would even make the argument that even if they were a competitor and they had that domain and they weren't using it, you could theoretically come in and file a trademark registration for it. Now you can't get that domain back from them, so you're going to be, in trouble from that perspective. But you could theoretically own it. Right.
No, that's good. All right. Let's jump to our next question here. Good answer, by the way. Thank you. This is a little bit related to infringement. Patent infringement on Amazon. And so we have 3 live viewers out there. I know I mentioned earlier, but you're welcome to ask any questions you've got. I'll make sure to keep an eye on the comments, and we'll try to prioritize that question above these Q&A we're doing. So yeah, feel free to punch in your question. Okay, so this one is I have an Amazon listing back in November 2023 and applied for a patent in 2024. Question is, if I have a provisional patent application, my patent application will protect me starting from the provisional patent application date. I didn't have a provisional patent, but I directly applied for a non-provisional patent. Let's say my patent application is approved, and let's say there is one product that infringes my patent rights. Okay. They listed it a little bit before, it looks like. They're listing on a date between 26 November and 24 October. Okay, so they listed for about a year between 23 and 24. In this case, can my patent stop them legally? from infringing competitors. Well, okay, a couple things to mention here. I want to make sure I clarify is that by virtue of filing a patent application, a provisional or even a non-provisional application, you don't have any rights. Okay, you have no ability to enforce your patents against others. However, you can send letters. You can send stern notice letters putting potential infringers on notice that, hey, you think this is infringing, articulating that, hey, when this does go to issue and you're still infringing, you're now a willful infringer, and you can threaten treble damages in litigation. I'll also say that Amazon, if you've got the right patent grant, once it gets granted, Amazon will go to bat for you. And I don't have personal experience with this, but I know, Matt, you do on the trademark side. I assume it will work on the patent side as well. You assert, hey, I'm the registered owner. I've got this patent granted. Now they're going to have their own in-house, basically, tribunal is what they've set up. And so they're going to have, hopefully, attorneys, maybe they're non-attorneys, review your allegations, review the patent that's issued, maybe even look at the claims and assess on their own. They come up with their own determination about whether the article might be infringing or not. If they think it might be or it's close enough, they'll take down that other listing. And I think you're also asking about basically, let's say it get issues now, previous or prior listing, right? So sales that were made while it was pending. That is a situation I may not have. I don't know the answer on that. Whether you'd be able to claim damages while it was still pending. I think there could be in federal court an avenue, so long as you put them on notice that you have pending right in
that sounds
2024.
very reasonable to me. That you have a pending application, it's pending, you've given notice, right? Therefore, they should be responsible for their actions to me on that infringement. Assuming the patent registers.
Absolutely. Maybe I should have had our guest come on.
Maybe she knows the answer.
I think she knows the answer. So cool. Oh, that's as good as I can get because we do really hear both patents do focus on just the front end, the prosecution, the getting at the patent. So let's do one more on the trademark side, then we'll jump in and interview our lovely guest who's been patiently waiting here. This one I think we did last week. Did we do last name, trademarking last name last week?
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
We did. Okay. All right.
No bueno.
No bueno. No way to answer that differently. You pretty much knocked it out of the park. We did the NFL teams on the T-shirts.
That's a good one.
Okay. So this one looks like a fresh one for you.
Okay.
All right. So, does anyone know if there's a way to prepare a trademark form and save it for attorney review, either by sending it a link or sending an OBJ file? My account is not sponsored under an attorney as legal staff. And the only type of form I can access is for an individual filing their own trademark. I cannot find any notices or information from the USPTO on how to use the new form by legal staff. Let me know if you have information or a link from the USPTO on how legal staff is supposed to do this. Does that ring a bell, Matt?
Yeah. So they're talking about like the legacy USPTO system and the changes that the USPTO has made in the last month. Okay. So the USPTO upgraded the website a bit. They upgraded both the search side of it and then also the application form side of it. So kind of your TTAB motion practice stuff and your application work filings, all that stuff has been upgraded. Okay. When they did that, they created a second way to fill out the new trademark forms. And the new form itself is kind of annoying for a practitioner. But the cool thing about it is that it automatically saves the information in the form. One of the biggest issues that the legacy system had is whenever the USPTO updated their website or their database, it would break all the application forms that had previously been sent out to clients. Oh, wow. So, last December, I think we had, I'm assuming I probably had about 30 or 40 applications out there, all broken, all had to be rebuilt. And it took weeks of work to get it back. I'm still working on that today, actually. I got a couple more. Oh. So anyways, the new system makes it much easier for attorneys to create applications for clients, update them, edit them, and then resend them if the client forgets to sign them in a good amount of time. So yes, you can still use the legacy system. That form is still available to you. You should be able to fill out that form for your attorney or your client and send it to them the traditional way still.
Okay. Got it. So the
I was
answer
just
is
in that forum earlier today. I don't believe you have to be even log into the USPTO account to do it anymore on the
okay.
old form.
Got it. Thank you.
But
That's awesome.
I mean, best practice is to do what the USPTO wants you to do, which is register.
Yeah.
So I would find yourself a law firm who's willing to sponsor you, or an attorney you can work for that can help you basically fill out these forms for clients.
Absolutely.
Because
Well, good.
you don't want to be caught doing the unauthorized practice of law. It's never good luck.
No. That's for sure. Yeah. It sounds like someone's trying to represent someone else here, but they're not an attorney. So best to be above board, hire counsel, get it done right.
Yep.
All right, Matt, let's bring on our guest, Anna Juneja. We'll have her come onto our show. Welcome to the Bold Inventor Show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you.
Hi,
So
Matt.
good. So I'd love to kind of hear about you personally, how you have sort of begun. And we're talking about social media is the title of our, the main track, but you're an IP attorney as well. So maybe,
Yeah. I'm like an IP attorney on social media, I guess. That's how most people know me. So yeah, my name's Anna Janeja. Thanks for the intro. I'm an IP attorney as well. And, patents, trademarks, copyrights, all of the above. And now that I've been on social media for a couple of years, I've definitely not only dealt with, having to be on social media, but I have a lot now of influencer clients or just social media issues that are affecting my regular business clients, regular corporate clients, and how IP affects them. So I've just really learned, so much about it, and being on social media obviously helps too.
Right. Well, that's wonderful. What was your start? Did you have a celebrity client, or did you just lean into this and knew you were going to lean into social media? Was there something that clicked?
No, I kind of happened on accident. I just posted some videos on TikTok and they kind of took off. I didn't really think anyone was going to see them at all. And then, a lot of people saw them, I guess. And then it kind of just started from there.
Okay.
But, it's so easy now to just say whatever you want and post a video. It takes like 30 seconds and you really never know what's going to happen. So,
Right.
yeah, I think at the first videos that I really talked about that kind of blew up, which were like my second or third videos on there, they were about IP theft in China and all of that. So, yeah, they were just, just saying whatever you want to say. It wasn't formal. It wasn't that, intensive, educational, but it was just, I think back, people were very interested in that topic back then.
Well, that's great. And I see. How long ago was that you got started on TikTok?
2021, I think.
Okay, got it. Well, that's great. I mean, I know I've done a few videos. I don't think I've had anything go viral yet. But I mean, let's talk about the conversations. I mean, that's kind of what it is about: starting a conversation, getting things going. How did you move from social media platform to actually having client discussions? What is sort of that next step that people need to take? And how do you
so I don't really have any discussions on social media. I really, especially now that I've been on it for a few years, I don't think it's productive to actually be discussing things on at least platforms like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. You're getting, if there's 50 million people watching a video and there's thousands of comments on it, most of them, half those comments are negative, so whatever. And then half those comments are just saying what they feel. People who are asking questions in social media comments, I mean, I don't, at this point in my life, I'm not going to be engaging with that. How you kind of transition though clients into that is you just have to have a good funnel, like a good feed to do that. So, I mean, I have like a Calendly link in all of my social media. So if people want to book a call with an attorney, they can do so. They have to answer 10, 12 questions. So it's not just anyone can book it. They have to tell us who they are, what their, patent or trademark is, or their copyright issue. They have to kind of give us what they're looking for. And then, at that point, if they really have an issue that they need help with an attorney, they can book with us or they can contact us. But, I don't really answer DMs. I don't really answer comments. I don't think I'm just a little cautious with doing that as an attorney. I think if you're not an attorney, you could do that much more, safely.
100%. Okay. Well, and I think most of our listeners are non-attorneys, I think. Although, Matt, we've been surprised.
Yeah, we've been surprised.
So there are a few listening. But I think for the target audience, which, of course, is the entrepreneur, the inventor, that we've got 6 live viewers, at least I can see, maybe they're listening and they want to know how they can use social media now in 2025. Any advice you might share? I say hacks, social media hacks. What would you say?
The number one hack, I think that for the vast majority of people who are probably watching this or listening, is you really just have to start, and you kind of have to do it in mass. So the good thing is it's really easy to just create content now and like easily distribute it because everywhere likes video. So you could just make video content on one platform and then just have it everywhere. It's, so time effective to do that versus kind of creating for every specific platform. But I just think it takes, like, if you don't have any base audience right now and you're starting, you want to launch a product or some sort of brand and product or service, whatever it is, you just want to build that up at this point in time, unless you have a base, it is going to take more effort than it did a few years ago. Just like a few years ago, it took more effort than it did a few years prior to that. So you really kind of have to commit, and you kind of have to be able to push out a significant amount of content, as in like at least a few pieces plus of content a day for several months before you can really expect anything. I think what happened to me was a little bit of a fluke. I also have like a very, specific demographic that, was targeted unintentionally, but I think I was kind of a newer person in my niche. So if you're in a more saturated niche, if you're launching, I don't know what people might be trying to sell, maybe you're trying to, sell like your toys that you have some patents on or something. I mean, that's a huge, that niche is so saturated. You really are going to have to be able to create really unique content and in mass to be able to stand out. It's still very possible, but it's going to take, I would say, double the amount of work it took 5 years ago.
Okay. So it's quantity over quality?
Yes, but with quantity comes quality.
Ooh, that's some wisdom right there.
So I think
go ahead.
The best thing like TikTok actually did for me personally as an attorney was it really taught me how to talk, because most lawyers just don't know how to talk. And once you figure out if you're selling any sort of product or service that you have to explain by talking about it, which a lot of people would, a lot of people are not going to have a product that's just so, you can like hold it up and everyone's going to say, wow, we're going to go buy it. That's not usually the case. You're going to have to use some sort of words. So like the better you can become at talking, the faster you can make people care about you, the better it's going to be, not just like for business, but like for your life too.
Sweet. That's huge advice. I'm trying to capture this here. So if you're
going to talk too fast. So
hold on. I didn't catch that, Matt. Say again.
I've been told.
Oh. Okay.
You talk too fast.
Video content to start. You talk very quickly. Video content to start. Lean into quantity over quality to start, and the quality will get better by doing it more often. I may be, the rare one that doesn't quite get better as we go. I've been doing a video every day, but you're saying multiple content. Oh
my God, no. When I started on TikTok, I was posting like 5 to 7 videos a day.
Okay.
Every thought I had in my head was like being posted, which definitely I said a lot of things that, I didn't know people were going to see. So if you now have the consciousness that, anything you say, anything you do may go viral, and you might not want every person you ever know to see stuff, be cautious about that. But you have to post a lot more than you think.
Post more than you think. That's so good. That's my golden takeaway so far. Okay.
Like more than double even what you're doing right now.
More than double. My goodness. Sweet. Matt's just laughing. Like,
I don't do any social media. So
awesome. That's exciting.
Talking fast is a good skill on social media.
What's that? Okay.
Talking fast is a good skill to have if you want to do social media.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're on social right now.
That's true. I know. Okay. I'm famous YouTuber according to my kids.
Absolutely. You have 10,000 subscribers on the Admiral Patent account. Okay. you're not lying. Let's keep hacking. Let's keep social hacking. Let's take out the ice pick now. What would you say is the next gem if we were going to find as if someone is moving the let's get really boring. I'm inventing a new gun container. Okay, I want to try to beat Mentos. This is a pretty cool idea, by the way. It's recyclable, holds lots of gum. I'm a big gum chewer. But you got the next version, and you've got this really cool design that's even more ergonomic, fits even more in there. It keeps it safe. How are you going to push that? If you're going to go social media, you want to get it out. I'm doing a lot of videos. What am I going to do now?
Yeah, I would say you're going to do a lot of videos. You're going to, you want to get your product in the hands of a lot of influencers, which is a lot easier if you have a good social presence. You want to, I think the easiest way these days to launch an actual product, especially if it's more D2C and it's on a lower price end, I would say under $1,000. The easiest way, you want to have very, very, very good aesthetics and a very, very good brand. And then you just want to make sure you get it in the hands of like key people in the industry who are going to make it look cool.
Okay. Influencers. And we have a question here from Philip. I want to get him some. Let's jump in with Philip's question. Before we jump to influencer marketing, I want to come back to that. But what do you think about blogging?
I think it's like a waste of time. I mean, I think I have like a, company that does that for like SEO. But I mean, like if you realistically like are looking to like grow a brand or like make money, like you shouldn't really be, investing in blogging.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't spend any time doing that.
I think my website posts
right? I mean, like 12 years ago,
5 articles a month or something.
I'm joking, Matt. I spend a lot of time doing blogging right now.
Do you really?
Yeah. Well, Amira does it. She takes my videos, the transcript. We run it through AI and then do a humanization, and then she throws that up on a blog. But it's basically just Jonathan likes it. Harsh, love it. It's okay. Okay, back to video influencers.
Yeah. No, I just think when you think about your ROI spend, I mean, I'm like a busy person, so I don't like to, and I only allow myself to work like 25 to 30 hours a week, and I cut myself off. So I have to be like very efficient. So if I'm going to spend 20 minutes that day doing something for, marketing purposes wise, right? Then what's like the most I can do? Like in 20 minutes, I mean, now I could probably make like 10 videos in that time, but even if you're inexperienced, you can make a few videos, right? And post them in, 20, 30 minutes. And then any one of those could get like 100 million views. You really never know. You just, your ROI, like how much you're getting out of it, the potential for that is so much higher than like writing a blog. Though I know blogging and SEO and all that is like a long-term game and all that, I just think there's never really been a time before the last 5 years where a regular person, like you and me, could launch a product or have a business or anything and want people to see it and have visibility and just literally be able to go and do that whenever you want, for free.
Yeah. Yes. So cool. Okay, back to my go ahead, Matt. Yep.
Oh yeah, and a question for you. So like if we're talking like your typical attorney, right? And say we're business attorneys and we're looking for like established businesses. We're not looking for younger startup companies, right, that aren't funded or anything like that. Is social media still going to be the place for us to find those folks, or are we going to have to go to more traditional marketing techniques to get those folks?
No, you should always do social media. You want to, that's why I think video is just so good because you can put it everywhere. So you can put it on YouTube, you can put it on LinkedIn, you can put it everywhere. I would say like there's definitely a difference in terms of like, I'm also like someone who primarily, IP attorneys, like at least me, I mostly work with corporate clients. I would say like 75% of my work. We now onboard a lot of, influencers, celebrities, athletes, small businesses as well, sometimes when they need IP work as well. But still the vast majority of like revenue is really coming from corporate clients. But I've gotten really massive deals on LinkedIn. I would say because I didn't really take any clients, from my old firm. Now I'm of counsel at a couple of firms too. But in terms of building like my own book of my own clients, I've gotten big deals on LinkedIn, multi-six-figure deals from social media, from things that were just totally cold. These aren't connections I had. These aren't clients I poached from other firms. These are cold approaches to me. So I don't know that I've gotten any really big deal like that from TikTok, I've gotten one or two from Instagram, but LinkedIn, I've gotten several. So it's the same content that you can post everywhere. But if you make videos of yourself, especially when you're talking and you actually know what you're saying, or you can show your expertise and you can just have people get to know you, they are going to be pretty likely to hire you wherever they're from. I also get a lot of my videos and content like saved and then they're sent off to people, because maybe it's not an executive who's going to be on TikTok, but maybe it's their, secretary, or maybe it's their niece or nephew or something that I said something and they sent it over, and then they, looked into me more, and then they like contact you. So it's kind of a snowball effect, but you also need to, this is one really important tip, actually, I'm going to say, is you really need to be careful about what you say and what you do. Like when I started on social media, obviously I had like no idea what I was saying. Like, I mean, I did, but I said a lot of things, I wish a lot of people hadn't seen, first of all. And then second of all, I said a lot of things about areas where maybe I didn't have enough expertise, and I didn't know how much people perceive you being an attorney on social media or a person on social media and saying things, and they just automatically assume you're that authority and they want to contact you for that. So I've made early on, I would never do this anymore, but I've made like random videos about like, oh, here's how to like protect your assets. You can do this type of bit, whatever, like set. And it wasn't like incorrect info, but I don't want, estate planning clients. And there was one video I made that went super viral about like estate planning kind of, and I think I had like 4,000 leads, and I don't even have, a network of estate planning attorneys. So you need to be careful to stick to your niche, like stick to topics that your actual prospective clients would care about. Don't try to just say stuff that like maybe people kind of want to hear, but it's not going to be attracting the right type of people or building the right type of authority. So like if you're trying to sell, if you're an attorney and you're trying to get corporate clients, you want to stick to your topics that you have expertise. You don't want to go into, oh yeah, look at this car crash. Or yeah, look at like what Elon and Trump are. You just need to be a little more careful and not chase like the, yes, everyone's asking you stuff. You want to post something, because after a while you'll learn like there's little things you can say that will like trigger people and you'll go viral for sure. But you just need to stay away from that. And like resist that.
Great advice. Great advice. Yeah, stay in your lane.
Stay in your
niches. Yeah, stay within your specialty area. Much appreciate that. It's awesome. Donna says, "Let's talk." About her next step.
I know. I need to call Donna back.
Oh gosh, she's calling you out. Okay, all right. Got a client knock on the door. Well, I didn't realize she was a client, potential client. All right, so let's talk about influencer. Let's get back to influencer marketing. If I don't know anybody, I mean, Matt, he knows lots of famous people. I don't. How am I going to get an influencer to care about my new gum container or whatever the new widget is I'm trying to push? How do you start?
Well, is this assuming that you know who the influencers are? You just don't know them, or you don't?
Yes, right. Okay, let's say I'm getting ready to do Shark Tank, and I know Mark Cuban's into NBA products related to basketball. They've got a new training device for pros that they'll be improving their free throw percentage by 20% or 15%.
Yeah. So I mean, the first step is identify like who are the influencers, who are people who either are using similar products or could use this type of product and make it, if they like it and people will think it's cool, that other people would want to buy it. So you have to identify who those people are. If it's some sports thing, I mean, I don't know I have so many, I hate this because I hope they don't see this. I have a lot of basketball athlete clients right now, and I don't know anything about sports, but is funny how much sports stuff I end up doing. Because I do like a lot of NIL and a lot of trademarks for athletes, but the only thing I know about sports, is like that Travis Kelce is Taylor Swift's boyfriend. That's like my sports knowledge extent. But, you want to target all the athletes who are either actual athletes or the commentators or the bloggers, influencers, journalists surrounding that topic. You want to make a list of that, and you can do that easy now. You can literally just search like on Instagram, TikTok, even Google probably has a list of influencers in that niche. And then you just want to either send them your product or invite them on like an Instagram live or podcast or something, or you can do a brand deal, though that can get expensive for like a startup. So I would say there's lots of influencers that if you're a startup and you just kind of like pitch, especially if you are going on Shark Tank or you're about to kind of blow up or kind of make it seem that way, that they would be happy to like review your product. And if they use it, you know, in a video that gets millions of views, that's a lot of exposure for you.
Okay.
To get your stuff into the hands of like influential people that would influence consumers or Shark Tank or whatever your goal is.
Okay.
But it's so easy. It's actually so easy. Like, I can't believe I have to say it, but you literally can just open up the Instagram app and search like basketball, whatever, pro or like, what is it, like score? I don't know what it would be, but whatever your word.
The helmet you wear as you're doing a free throw.
Yeah, like
and you
just
dial
literally
in your
search
shot.
like some basketball equipment and then see like the popular videos, see like who's making them, and just like contact them. The really interesting thing about LinkedIn and Instagram in particular, TikTok and Twitter are kind of like weird, but like when it comes to like DMs and stuff, but Instagram and LinkedIn in particular, you can literally DM or message on LinkedIn anyone, any famous person, any executive, any CEO, like anyone, and they usually respond. And most people have control of their own Instagram and LinkedIn accounts, even if they're not controlling their own YouTube and TikTok and stuff. Usually people have their own Instagram app on their phone and they themselves are going to like read your message. And that's really like powerful. You can literally connect with like anyone then.
Anna, this brings up a good point. How do you navigate like your ethical obligation not to solicit clients? You know,
I don't.
Like, yeah. So I mean, walk us through that. So you can DM people, right? But you're not soliciting necessarily. So you're just engaging them in a conversation.
So I don't DM anyone. I don't do any outreach. Okay. I just post like my content. We have a Calendly link. I don't even tell people to like book a content. If people are interested enough, they will go and click and book a link. Now, I think I may be overly cautious. I also, luckily now, you know, I'm not really in the position where I'm looking for, you know, to bring on a ton of new clients or chase work right now, or, you know, I'm kind of in a different place in my business now. But at the beginning, even when I was starting and I had 0 clients, I mean, that's why I was posting like 7 videos a day, because I didn't have any client work. And I had like 2 free extra hours of, you know, every day. But I just like created more content, and that's what I did. And I waited for like people to come in, and then you kind of figure out like, oh, this specific like word or script or whatever is going to get super viral and like bring in a certain amount of leads. And once you do that long enough and you have enough data that you should be tracking everything that's going on when you're posting, like what topic you're saying, what, you know, if one video did better or worse, or if one video brought in a certain type of, you know, lead or customer or whatnot. I mean, you have to track it. A lot of people don't even do that, which I don't know like how you keep track of anything then, but I have like a full-time person who literally all she does is she tracks all of that. And so then I know like, okay, if I have too much work that month, I'm definitely not going to make this video with these specific words that I know are going to like make these type of clients, you know, book and stuff like that. Versus, you know, you can also have that on the flip side. If you need more work that month or you need more customers, then you want to use that more like viral script and things. And you can do that for any business. But I don't do any outreach. I think if you were in another business, like if you're a non-attorney though, you should do a lot of outreach. Now, I don't know any lawyers that are like going and asking for influencers to like talk about them and things. I have had my like cease and desist read out loud, my emails read out loud on the internet, posted all over Reddit. And I like usually will go try to make the client take it down, because it can be very detrimental and things to their case. Now, attorneys are different in that sense. Anyone who's non-attorney, you should definitely be wanting people to be talking about you and be, you know, and just for the context, like in that, you know, my clients, I don't know what your splits are and your following splits or anything, but I mean, for obvious reasons, like my social media following is like 95% like male, and then but I do get some high profile like female influencers, and they're the ones that can kind of cause a lot of public issues. They want to read all their legal issues online and things. So like the vast majority of my following base and my client base is not interested in like, you know, what these little influencers or reality TV stars are doing back and forth to each other. Like it would detriment me like as an attorney if that was, so I don't want that type of visibility, and you have to be careful, it's just controlling your brand, right? So I, caution, clients and stuff away from that. And now I have a provision in my engagement letter and all of that. But if you're not an attorney, or you maybe have more of a more lifestyle brand or something that's more general to a lot of people, then you may want to just say that, hey, all publicity is good publicity, and just kind of like go forth with that. DM people, send them your products, do all of that, solicit, do everything you can. But attorneys, we just have different rules that we have to follow.
Absolutely. I do want to plug your website, anamedia.com.
Oh, it's analaw.com, just ANALEW.com.
Got it. Analaw. Let me get that updated. Thanks for that.
No worries.
Analaw. Cool. Let me put that in your, and you want to share your email address if anybody listening has questions for you?
Oh yeah, they can email me. They can email info, just info at analaw.com.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, I want to keep you on for our next segment. I do want to do our bold bite, which is a Shark Tank critique, and you're going to have some insights. It'll be great. So thank you for sharing those golden nuggets about social media. I'm going to use that. I may have a chat with you.
Yeah.
You take on lawyers as clients, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Well,
you're doing a lot already.
Oh, I know, but I'm not doing it right, perhaps. Yeah. So thank you for sharing your wisdom and time with us here. I'm going to go. If you guys could both go on mute for me, I'm going to share my screen. We'll have a peek at about 5 minutes of a Shark Tank pitch, and then we can rip it up and critique it. Okay. All right. Switch over. All right. And give me a thumbs up, Matt, if you can hear the volume, would you?
Next into the tank is an artful twist to a healthy dining concept.
Hello, Sharks. My name is Guy Vaknin, and I'm the chef and owner of Beyond Sushi. I'm seeking a $1.5 million investment in exchange for 25% of our planned venture on the West Coast and 5% of our current operation on the East Coast. Beyond Sushi is a multi-unit vegan restaurant operating in New York City. We take a modern approach to traditional sushi by creating unique flavor profiles using vegetables, fruits, and whole grains without relying on fake meats, while having a balance between nutrition and flavor. Our extensive menu includes salads, wraps, dumplings, and rolls. We're one of the pioneers of the vegan sushi movement and creating a better, healthier, much more sustainable way of eating. Sharks, if you dive into this deal with me, there'll be plenty of fish for you guys to swim with.
Do we get samples?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I brought you 3 of our bestseller rolls.
I'm hungry, but then I'm always hungry.
This looks amazing.
Amazing.
We're Grab and Go. It's fast casual, but we do have another model, and that's the 2,500 square feet that we opened recently.
And then what made you pivot to this 2,500 square foot model?
At the end of 2015, I partnered up with the founder of Ruby Tuesday.
Sandy Beal.
Sandy Beal,
Yeah,
yes.
great guy.
He has 25%.
And you have 75?
75, yes.
So when you talk about 25%, that's of the East Coast, right?
Yes.
And I'm guessing you own 100% of the West Coast because you haven't really started it yet.
Yes.
Tell us for the last year what your sales have been and whether you're profitable or not.
So last year we did $4 million in sales.
What did you net on it?
So last year was the year that we made basically the change. So I took a commissary. I opened 2 big locations. So I was negative 272.
How much did you invest last year?
I put 160,000 out of my own pocket into the business just to keep it running because we did lose money, right? The year before that, we were doing 2.4 million. I put in my pocket 600,000, and we're projecting 5.6 for this year.
What will you make of?
Right.
So an ideal QSR
Yeah.
or fast casual restaurant should be doing 20% profit at the store level. Where are you right now after how many years?
So we're doing 20% on
Well,
37.
I'm finding out a lot, so I know nothing about that end of the retail. Like,
Yes.
Matt asked you, what did you ask him? What is this PR, QR,
QSR, quick service restaurant.
I had no idea what any of that was, and for that reason, I'm out.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
struggling with a different problem. I'm going to make the assumption you'll be as successful in the West Coast as you were on the East Coast.
Yes.
And you're going to generate, after 3 years, $5+ million on your operations if the footprints look the same. Here's the problem with this.
Yeah.
You're going to make $300,000 pre-tax on $5+ million in sales. Yes, we agree.
I agree.
Okay. I give you $1.5 million to get 25% ownership in the West Coast.
Okay.
I'm basically paying 20 times pre-tax earnings. I think they're insane. The valuation's insane. I'm out.
Deal.
You have three choices: yes, no, or counter. I need you to make them fast, and you know why? So I can eat the rest of that soup.
We're going to work too.
And what's great is once you become part of my family,
Yes.
you get access to all the different operators. You want me to own enough in New York to drive it as well. That's a waste if I don't. I can feel your energy and your intensity. I love it. But my offer's firm, right? You get both of us, you get the entire network, but I'm so excited. Thank you.
They did a deal. All right. That was kind of quick, but wanted to get
Right
you,
on.
Matt, Beyond Sushi as a trademark. What are your thoughts there? Is that a good mark? Suggestive? Tricky?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, it's highly suggestive of the type of food, hopefully, that he's going to be preparing, right? So it's not descriptive necessarily. That being said, I looked at their trademark registration. They have a single trademark registration for the actual. Let me look it up here. For the actual prepared appetizers and entrees themselves. So they're actually protecting the product as opposed to the sit-down service. So
Interesting.
that's a big blind spot in my mind for their trademark portfolios. I would like to see a Class 43 restaurant cafe services application as well, and maybe a design mark to protect the logo.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I saw at the USPTO.
Yeah, they ended up they shook hands on TV, but they didn't do the deal backstage. I pulled up their sort of after the Shark Tank. This was filmed a while ago. Mark had all black hair at the time, 2016. 2024, they're crushing it. So they had a hard time getting through COVID, but they stayed on. They had some help from sort of participated with this group called Vegandale. And they were to be part of like this whole vendor sort of symposium or system, and then they went back in, opened up their store in Philadelphia, and now 2024, you go on the website, they're doing like $5-6 million a year. They're selling a ton of these. They've got a restaurant now, opened up a Mexican food restaurant in New York City called Sentier. So they're doing quite well, at least in New York.
Huh. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the acronym though, BS. It's not a good acronym.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But the logo, did they have anything with that, with the 2 carrots there? And the
No
sushi?
logo. As far as I didn't actually pull up their. I just looked at the one application that rose to the surface. Let me look and see if I can find any other applications or registrations at the USPTO really quick.
Got it. I looked all over the patent database, of course. I didn't see anything filed or certainly granted with Beyond Sushi. It's one of those concepts. It's a service. It's a product, not necessarily novel. They look beautiful, and they perhaps could have gone after like a design patent if they had a really firm belief that one particular role and ornamentation was going to be something they would stick with forever. But in my mind, those things are going to come and go with style, and different types of foods and colors are going to come and go. And so patenting really isn't, to me, the best option for this type of business. Anna, do you have any thoughts on IP related or even any other related issues?
I mean, yeah, I think they just need to, they're obviously really selling their brand, and their brand isn't super protected. Not just their adding the additional class, but they probably have bestsellers, or what is it called at a restaurant? Not bestsellers, like most popular, like maybe signature dishes, things like that they probably don't have protected. I see that a lot for restaurants, right? You want to as a restaurant, I think it's important to have a robust trademark portfolio in particular, because if you do end up franchising and things, it's very important. And it's so easy for restaurants to be copycatted.
Sure.
When there's a super viral restaurant in New York, how is it not already, something popping up in LA that's exactly the same? So easy to do that. You if it's doing well one place, it's going to do well at another place. So I just think, they're lacking a lot in protecting their brand portfolio.
Got it. I agree. One thing I want to talk about too is on their website. I think with food in particular, if I'm going to go look around, where am I going to go eat? I look at pictures. Pictures are to me what carry the day in decision making. So I'll share quickly their website, and it's beautiful. Have you dealt with much with copyright and regarding photos and of this food, and how do you protect it well? I mean, look at these pictures; they're awesome looking pictures. Do you need to? What do you recommend? Are they doing this right? Any ways that they might improve it or be careful about it?
I mean, they should definitely, they do like a formal photo shoot of their food. They should definitely protect their website too. What's their bottom footer look like on their website?
Okay. So they've got Beyond Sushi, all rights reserved. They might have more.
So no privacy policy. So their website's not legally compliant. There's no cookies pop up. So they have a lot of issues with their website.
Right. Got it. Yeah, I didn't click through anything before. This is as it is. So, and then I've noticed this alt text here, rainbow roll at Beyond Sushi.
It's ADA compliant.
Right.
That's good. You won't get sued for that.
Awesome. Well, for a company like this, in 2025, I'm hearing some really good recommendations. They may need some help when it comes to marketing the right way. Social media, let's talk that. We're already hitting that. Got a few more minutes left. Might as well see if we can get your wisdom for food products, food-related stuff. Are you going to want to be on the video eating it? I mean, or having celebrities do that?
Those are really food videos are very popular.
Okay.
Or like eating videos. I don't know exactly why, but they are very popular.
Right.
Beyond Sushi. I mean, their social media is like pretty generic looking. I think they could probably have a lot more like user content, like have it more interactive, just because it seems like kind of a viral place. Otherwise, like it's doing really well. But now, like, it's so easy for, especially like if you're in a location that's very desirable, that makes a difference, right? A lot of businesses now are virtual, but if you are in a really desirable location, then you want to take advantage of all that, get all the influencers and stuff. It's so easy in New York to like just have a lunch, have everybody important come. They'll post all the pictures.
Yeah. How about the
Where are you guys located, by the way?
I'm in Washington State.
I'm in Minnesota.
My gosh. Okay. You guys are
Got a lot of influencers up here.
I'm in DC right now, and I'm going to New York in a couple of days, but it's freezing here too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm usually in Miami this time of year.
Got it.
Much
Cool.
better.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for sharing your time. Matt, for you and I both, we're going to wrap up here for our show. Thank you again for coming on, Matt. For all those that showed up online, thank you for participating. If you missed us live, we're here every Wednesday, 1:30, the Bold Inventor Show. For me and the gang, wish you guys a great rest of your day. Go big, go bold. All right.
Go big, go bold at boldip.com.